Breaking news on 41 Action News at 6 as investigators try to figure out what caused this explosion at a rail company outside of Atchison, Kansas just a few hours ago.
We're now learning that a total of 7 people are injured from this explosion. 2 of them are being treated right now at the University of Kansas Hospital.
Yes, team coverage tonight from both KCK and Atchison, starting with Garrett Hake at the Greenbrier Rail Services yard. Garrett?
Justin, I just talked to the county sheriff out here about 20 minutes ago, and he said, believe it or not, there is still some fire still going on inside that building where they were working on a rail car this afternoon around 2 o'clock when it exploded. Now, they don't believe that there's any additional danger. Everything else flammable that could explode, I think, has been moved to a safe distance. Meanwhile, fire marshals and fire officials from the county here are trying to figure out what exactly caused that explosion that took place when 16 or 17 people were here working this afternoon. We now know 7 of them have been transported to area hospitals, but as is often the case in these kind of incidents, initial reports about injuries were very unclear and confusing. Even the sheriff wasn't sure the entire extent of who was hurt and what their injuries were.
As far as the injuries go, I don't know the extent of them. There were some burns and things like that, and some of the patients that were transported were only for smoke inhalation. So really, we're very lucky that everybody made it out. In my eyes.
The sheriff said as he was driving here, he could see that thick, billowing black smoke coming from this rail yard and feared for the worst. So indeed, could have been much worse, but we're still waiting on injury updates from 5 of those people. And then there, of course, are the 2 at the University of Kansas Hospital as well. We'll have updates on their condition all evening. For now, reporting live in Atchison, Garrett Hake, 41 Action News.
Yes, some of those injuries include inhalation, burns, back injuries. As Garrett just mentioned, our Lexi Suter joins us from the University of Kansas Hospital, where she's tracking the condition of those 2 there. Lexi, what have you learned in the last little while for us?
Jody, 2 men were brought here from that explosion in Atchison. We know that they are still being screened for the extent of their injuries, but they are being treated by both trauma and burn medical professionals, So they have an array of injuries at this point. That's what we know. Now, they arrived here at around 4 o'clock in 2 separate ambulances. A nurse for the University of Kansas Hospital says they do have serious injuries and extensive burns. But right now, as I said, they're going through those initial screenings, the CAT scans, the x-rays, to really find out how bad their injuries are.
Right now they're getting all of their imaging done, CAT scans, to see the extent of their trauma injuries from the explosion. As soon as that's known, the decision will be made whether they need to go to the operating room for any type of intervention related to that.
And I just checked with a spokesperson here at the University of Kansas Hospital, and the 2 victims will be admitted to the burn unit. Now, the nurse also added that the emergency personnel on the scene did a great job of transporting them, stabilizing them, and getting them here quickly for their treatment. And of course, we will continue to check on their condition updates and bring you the very latest as soon as we learn more. Reporting live in Kansas City, Kansas, Lexi Suter, 41 Action News.